I'm Josh with Waupaca Community Media, here again with Ron Sari from the Waupaca School District. And how are you doing, Ron?
Hey, doing great. Thanks, Josh.
So let's start with some terrific news. Your boys football team did fantastic on Friday. Where are they headed next?
Yeah, we're excited about that. They really did a good job Friday against Portage. Now they play this Friday at Luxembourg Casco, 7 o'clock. And I think they're seeded number 1. I think we're seeded number 4, if I remember correct. But I feel very confident our boys are going to be able to handle this challenge and overcome it and win, just like they did against Portage.
And you had two other teams last week that played that kind of were at the top and kind of toward the end of the season and kind of made it into the playoffs. And fortunately, those two teams didn't succeed to the next level, but we got to give them a big congratulations for how far they got in the season.
That's for sure. Our girls volleyball team did win against Tomahawk Thursday, but then against Mosinee on Saturday, it was close. Each of the matches were very close. We'd win one, they'd win one, back and forth. But in the end, we unfortunately lost. And the boys soccer team played against New London on Thursday and won. And but then against Mosinee on Saturday night, it was close. It was 2-1, so very close. But their season ended. But they had a great run.
So it's cool, even if you don't hit that final game and win, it's cool to get into the playoffs and to make it as far as they did. So that's what a cool fall sports season you've had or are still having.
Yeah, it's terrific.
So we want to talk a little bit about COVID. The school, kind of your medical team, your team that kind of decides what direction the school needs to go to stay safe, has made some changes. And the first one start this week and has to do with students or staff who are asymptomatic. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so when we met with our medical team, they've recommended that we move forward, and of course, administration concurs. So if a let's say a student is a close contact at school and is asymptomatic, typically what we've been doing is contacting the parents, and they'd have to quarantine. But now what we're going to do is give that choice to the parent to decide if they want to quarantine their child or not. So that started on Monday, October 25th.
And then the other change that's forthcoming is on November 8th, and it has to do with masks.
Yep, that's the second piece to this. And so on November 8th, Monday, November 8th, masks are going to be optional district-wide in all of our buildings.
So there's some reasoning behind these changes. Anyone watching the news is seeing that it's going to be probably a very quick turnaround for those under the age of 12 to be eligible for vaccines. I know that plays in this. What led to this decision at this point in time?
Well, that is a big part of it. We anticipate, I know the county has already ordered the vaccines for our youngest age group. We anticipate as soon as next week, those students will be able to get a vaccine if they so choose, if their parents choose. And so then we're at a point where all of our population has had an opportunity, if they so choose, to get a vaccine. So that's a big part of it. But, the other part too is our data shows us, and around the country, school districts data shows that the spread isn't taking place at a high level in school. And so it kind of becomes counterproductive if we continue to quarantine asymptomatic students for a close contact at school, if the odds of them eventually getting it are very, very small. So I think that there's some logic there that makes a lot of sense. And of course, administration looked at that as well and concurs with our medical advisors.
I know there's a lot of people on both sides of the fence on the whole COVID topic and some significant changes here, and I wish the school success. You've had pretty good success last year, this year, keeping the doors open and keeping students in school, and hopefully these decisions continue to work out really well.
Yeah, we're pretty confident we'll be able to continue this way, the way we're headed.
Very cool. And then the last thing to talk about today, and I'll kind of take place for Aaron, who's not joining us again this week, but this Friday is the Celebration on Main, featuring the Halloween on Main event on Main Street in Waupaca. The street very close to being done. So it goes from 4 till 8 p.m. and from 4 to 6 is Halloween on Main. They'll have touch a truck, caricature drawings, Jim Miller pumpkins on display, trick or treating at I think about 24 different downtown businesses. So you can extra chance for a trick or treating aside from this Sunday when the official trick or treating hours are in the city. And there'll be a number of businesses open with entertainment and food and drink downtown, such as the Danes Hall, the pub, Simpsons, and Little Fat Gretchen's. And the Historical Society has a brat fry. So come check out the progress on Main Street. Almost done, not quite there, but close to done. And then the other clarification is there was originally a ribbon cutting scheduled this Friday at 3:45. And since Main Street's not quite done, they're going to push that off to some date in the near future to have that official opening of Main Street. So bring the kids, come down for some fun and some entertainment and see what's going on Main Street. So that's the other big thing going on.
And that's this Friday, right?
This Friday. Boy. So get off the school bus right to Main Street.
Friday the 29th. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun activity, a set of activities. And what time is trick or treating on Sunday for us? Is that 5 to 7?
5 to 7. And
okay.
At least those are the official published hours.
Well, you can trick or treat outside of those hours, or what?
I suppose if you want it to, you could. If you want extra candy. Well, the kids that want candy, they'll be downtown on Friday, then we'll be trick or treating again on Sunday. So
yeah, keep our dentists in business.
Well, Ron, thanks for joining us, and we will talk again soon.
Thanks, Josh. Have a good week.
You too.